How's it going, everyone? My name is Casey Jones, and today we're going to take your video from looking like this to like this, using color correction and color grading through Final Cut Pro. Alright, so we're just going to jump in right away to Final Cut Pro. So we have Final Cut Pro pulled up. I already set up a new project file. So what I like to do is I like to pull in a color correctable video, and then also just my standard video clip that I'm working on. So we'll cut this down and cut this over here. So now, first thing I do is I go in here and I click the base correction and I bring it over the first clip. And now I'm gonna find a part where it's white and I click the base correction, and I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna click the color wheels. And this is the first part. So I'm gonna click view, go to video scopes, click right on here in this little guy, and you're gonna make sure it's on waveform and luma. So you're gonna grab the shadows. I always pull the shadows down right to the 0 line. So that's basically as far as you want them to go. You don't want them to be crushed. I keep a little bit of them out of there. And the next is you're gonna pull up your highlights just below 100. Pull skin tones back down for the mid-tones. And try to keep them between, anywhere between, you know, like 35 to 55 is roughly where I like to keep my skin tones. And just pull the shadows back up here just a little bit and keep pulling the mid-tones down. Alright, so that's looking good. That looks about right. So, and then you can drag this over to look at it on your normal one. So the next thing I want to do is pull up the white parameter again and switch this from Luma up to RGB Parade. And what this is going to do is it's going to help you white balance it as best as possible with just being able to look at it. So you have the white part, which is this right here on the screen. If you could see the red, the green, and the blue all lining up at the top. This is almost perfectly exposed, or perfectly white balanced to begin with, but I'm just going to bring down the blue just a little bit more and bring the green down just a tiny bit. So now you turn off the video scopes. So now you have this perfectly white balanced and perfectly exposed. So now what I'll do from there is I'll add a little saturation if I feel it needs it. And then also, because I turn my sharpen all the way off on my camera, I'll bring in just a little sharpening. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the look grade and pull this over. So now you already got everything exposed properly, everything's looking good, but now you're going to dial it in, and this is where you're going to add a LUT. I like to go through them, check them out. Because I have such orange and blue tones in here, such good color contrasting colors, I'm going to use the teal and orange look. Now that's way too much right there. I honestly will bring it all the way down to about a 0.20, maybe a 0.25, and that just gives it a little bit better of a look. So now what I'll do is, to give it that last faded, like last film look, is I'll come up here and I'll click this and go to color curves, add a dot here, 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 and here. And this is just going to give it a little bit more of a flat look. So I'll pull up the black just a tiny bit and pull down the highlights just a tiny bit, and this is going to give it the illusion of more dynamic range. And then I'll lift the highlights here, pull down the shadows here, and of course keep the S curve looking good. So the next thing you can do is go to, I go like to look grade, and I like to do this one on the look grade. Is any further color adjustments is now I'll go to the hue luma and I'll click on my face and I'll just bring down my skin tone just a little bit, just so it's a little bit more true to color and not so overexposed. And we can also do the hue versus saturation. Click over here, we got the blues, and we can bring those up just a little bit more. Perfect. Now I think that's looking good. So that was a quick, very fast and effective way to make your videos look a lot better. Not to mention, color correction starts in the pre-process. So this is all done in post. This is all done in Final Cut Pro. This is all done real easily through just the color wheels and everything like that. But before you do that, you're going to want a light source that's going to cast good shadows and provide sharper quality colors, and just little extra things like I have a blue LED light. It's nothing too major, just this little guy just propped up. I took a old like a plastic insert, like a gel insert from my wife's binder, and I just taped it right over the top of it to give it the blue look. And then of course just turning on a lamp like this just adds a little color, and now you got that awesome contrast going on. So that's it. Hopefully that helps everybody. If you have any questions or you have any suggestions, feel free to post them in the comments. All right, thanks guys. Later.